Not gonna lie, pretty nervous about this game tonight. I was really dreading it. Our form has been terrible. We've conceded 3 goals for God knows how many games in a row now. And if you told me that there would be another 3 scored by a team tonight, I would have instantly said, Valencia, 3-0. But no, 3-1 to us. We started terribly. It was pretty much the worst start we could have had. I mean, way to start the game slow. Oh, it was just so bad. And I just thought to myself, we're actually going to throw away potentially the last chance to get Champions League football next year or next season. Because the Premier League isn't going to plan. We absolutely need to win the Europa League. If we're not making it into the top 4 in the Premier League, we have to win the Europa League. And to start off so badly with so little confidence and just... Oh, it was like going back and watching the last 5 or 6 games where we just haven't played well. I mean, the only game we've won recently was against Watford, and even that was just terrible to watch. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans felt my pain in the first 10, 15 minutes, but going 1-0 down clearly was what we needed to get the fight back in the team. That spirit that we've been lacking over the last month or two was there today. It really was. We were able to turn this game around. We finish up 3-1, but it could have been a lot more. Lacazette could have had 4 or 5 tonight. He really could, and he, for me, was my man of the match by quite some distance. This guy is such a hard worker, and he is beginning to look like Ian Wright to me. And you know what? I grew up not so many years watching Ian Wright, but I have very, very clear memories of watching him play. Very, very similar. And with Aubameyang next to him, it really is a great partnership when it works. And tonight it worked. They both got in on the action. Aubameyang maybe could have had 2 or 3 as well. I mean, obviously you're not going to score 8 or 9 goals against a team like Valencia or anyone, to be honest, in the Europa League. But we certainly had some very good chances tonight. And I really hope that we don't go to Spain next week and regret missing them, because although we're 3-1 up, the job is not done. If it was 3-0, I'd still be saying the same thing. It's not job done. But the fact they've got an away goal certainly makes things a little bit more interesting. I mean, if they score early again next week in Spain, it could spiral out of control. But since Emery's come to the club, if you exclude the last month or two, I would say we seem to have eliminated that capitulation that we always had, especially in the last 5 years or so with Arsene Wenger. If we took an early... if we conceded an early goal, we would just crumble against these big teams. We wouldn't be able to get back into the flow of things, and before you know it, it's 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5, 8-2. And I feel like this season we've definitely improved in that regard. We don't seem to capitulate so easily and so often. So, other than Liverpool at Anfield, where we lost 5-1, I can't really think of too many other examples this season where we've really crumbled under the pressure. But it's still something that can happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen. So we need to make sure that we go to Valencia next season. No, it's next week for sure. I don't think we'd be able to play this fixture in a season. But if we can go there with the right frame of mind, with a bit of confidence, and play like we did tonight, then I think we will be fine. And it looks as if Chelsea have been held by Frankfurt. The last time I checked, it was 1-1. There was like a minute or 2 left. So that's going to be an interesting one, because obviously it doesn't really matter who we play in the final. It's still going to be a very tough game. But I think all Arsenal fans would prefer a game against Frankfurt. Personally, though, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have Chelsea. I think, if anything, having it be such a huge rivalry game, almost a derby, because it is a London derby, but obviously it's going to be Azerbaijan, I think it is. That might be, again, what we need to inspire us and to get the team really fighting. But then again, I would love to play against Frankfurt. They've got such a killer team, man. Jovic up top. This guy, what was he? 6 million they signed him. They got him on loan with an option to buy of 6 million. And now they're looking to sell him this summer for around 50. That is some incredible bargaining power and selling power. And I tell you what, the scouts at Frankfurt, we need to be getting in on that. We need to get one of those guys over now that we've lost Mislintat. But yeah, I'm hoping that the right team goes through. I don't want to see some cheese goal or some dodgy decisions go against the team and then therefore they don't get through. But Chelsea getting knocked out in the semis, I wouldn't be upset. Put it that way. So let's go through the lineup, which is that side. It's the opposite. Cech in goal now. This is something that I've touched on a few times, and actually I put out quite a potent tweet a couple of days ago. I really don't like having two goalkeepers that we rotate, because I'm a big fan of playing your best team. As soon as anyone's fit and available to play, they get put in the team, as long as they're ready to play. And Cech, he did okay tonight. He didn't do anything wrong, but we all know that Leno is a much, much better goalkeeper and would improve our chances of winning football games. So I'm just not a fan of this, and I cannot wait. Sounds bad, but I just cannot wait for Cech to retire, because maybe, just maybe, Leno will play every single game. Again, it wasn't an issue tonight because I don't think Cech was that bad. He made a good few saves, but it's just consistency, and I really feel like the defence would prefer some consistency there. I don't think that they would ever say anything bad about Cech, but you'd rather Leno was behind you, right? So although it's not going to happen, I would like to see Leno in goal for the final if we make it, but it isn't going to happen. That will be Cech's last game for Arsenal, I'm pretty sure. Unless we don't make it, of course, then I'm sure he'll play in the Premier League in the last game. But that's just my thoughts on Cech being in goal. Not a big fan of teams rotating goalkeepers just because it's a different competition. I just don't think you need to do that. Your main goalkeeper, if he's fit, if he's match ready, should be in the team. Simple as that. Sokratis, Koscielny, Mustafi in a back three today. It seemed like we it looked different on attack than defence, which is perfectly normal, but it was nice to see a normal setup for us. We weren't investigating, we weren't experimenting with a 4-4-2 or some sort of weird diamond. It was nice 3-4-1-2, whatever it would be. And Sokratis, I thought, didn't have the best game today, made a few mistakes, and Koscielny bailed him out many times, who had a much better game. Mustafi played right back at the start, it seemed, with Maitland-Niles going forward as a right mid, but definitely, I think within 10 minutes or so, it looked like we'd gone to three at the back with Maitland-Niles and Kolasinac as the wing-back. So I should give some credit where credit's due, because Mustafi was actually okay today. And I know it's very easy for me to go off on these tangents and saying how bad he is, because he is terrible. He's awful. He's absolutely terrible. But today he wasn't too bad. So fair play to Mustafi. But if we make it into the final and he's in the starting lineup, I will probably not watch it because it'll be painful. Guendouzi and Xhaka in midfield. I thought Guendouzi had a very good game. I was sad to see him go off, actually. But Torreira coming on just made things a little bit, I don't know, more sure in midfield. But Guendouzi is a good player, he's got some good talent there, and I think the more minutes we give him, the more confidence he's going to get, and I think he could genuinely fight for a place in that midfield. I really do. He's had a very good first season at Arsenal. And Xhaka was back to his best today. Thought he was very good in midfield. There was a couple of moments where I think he was a bit rough around the edges, out of position a few times, but his passing, his assist for Lacazette's second goal is perfection. I absolutely loved that. I thought Kolasinac was good as well today. Some better decision-making. Maybe didn't get anything done in the end. He didn't get an assist, I don't think, but he was definitely better today, which was good to see. Defensively as well, seemed to work really hard and get back and make tackles. Ozil had a very okay-ish game. Nothing spectacular from him. And I've already mentioned Aubameyang and Lacazette did really good up front. Who else came in? We had Torreira, Mkhitaryan. I think I might have missed the third sub if there was one. But yeah, I thought Mkhitaryan actually did well when he came on. It was good to see that. He was a big part in Aubameyang's goal. And Torreira, of course, came on and did a decent job as well. Overall, I'm actually very happy with how he performed tonight. It was such a big game. When you go into these games in really bad form, it's just absolutely vital that you start strong. And the fact that we didn't do that, yet we still won, is a huge testament to the team, because we are struggling. We really are in a bad place at the moment. We've effectively lost out on the top four, even though it was in our control. We've gone on a terrible, terrible run of losses, conceding 3 goals in every game. So to come into a game against Valencia when it's such a big game, it's massive. This could be genuinely the biggest moment of our season tonight, where we've made it 3-1, which will give us a bit more of an advantage going into the second leg, meaning that we've got a huge chance to get into the final, and that is our ticket to the Champions League if we don't make it in the top 4. in the Premier League, which we still can. It still can happen. I don't think it will. So it is huge that we win next Thursday in Spain and then we beat whoever it is in the final. And of course, we've got Brighton at the weekend, I believe it is. And then who have we got at the end? Is it Burnley? So some tough games still to play this season, but we are coming to the end. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a really good season up until the last few weeks, of course, where there has been moments of struggle and moments of stress and frustration. But in general, I'm massively impressed with how Emery's done in the first season. And he's just got to finish strong here. We've got to finish strong. We've got to get in the Champions League because otherwise our transfer budget is not going to be anything good, anything near enough to be competitive with the other top 6 clubs. And of course, to attract signings, we're not going to bring in any big names if we haven't got Champions League football again. It's huge. It is absolutely vital that we do it. So I'm going to give our performance a solid 7 out of 10 tonight. I think we could have been better in some areas, especially in defence in the first kind of 10-15 minutes, but put that down to a bit of nervousness, a bit of shakiness, and the rest of the game was pretty good. So I'm very happy. Now, quickly, I just got to mention, I've got a new handle on Twitter. So if you follow me over on Twitter, you'll know it's at officialmgh. Well, now it's just at mgh, which I'm super happy about. But of course, I should let people know. If you don't follow me, I'd really appreciate it. I do all sorts of things over on Twitter that involve you guys in my videos. I interact with you guys, talk about football a lot. Also, Instagram, I'm working on getting at MGH there. The guy that's got it doesn't even use Instagram anymore. He's completely inactive for like 10 years. So I'll try and get that. But for now, it's at officialmgh. I'm posting on it every single day. And actually, I'm following back people who predict the right results of football games. So if you want to interact with me on Instagram, I'm DMing people that get results right and having a chat. So yeah, please do follow me on both those. And I will see you in the next video very soon when Career Mode will be returning soon.